Hey guys, we usually don't cover too many pickup trucks or American cars on the channel, so we thought we would spend some time in the Chevrolet stall here at the Detroit Auto Show. And we want to focus on this. This is the new 2019 Chevy Silverado. Here you see it in a blue color in the LT trim with the chrome front grille. There's some other trucks as well here that we're going to talk about. But let's get started with the exterior, and for that we're going to jump to the high country. I'm here in the Chevy stall here in the Detroit Auto Show, and I'm joined by Brian. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
He's one of the lead designers for the all-new 2019 Chevy Silverado pickup truck. Now, we don't get a lot of pickup trucks back in Germany and Europe, so you're going to have to fill me in. What's new about the Silverado? What makes it better? What's fresh about it? And just walk me through what you guys have done.
Sure. The 2019 Silverado is all new from the ground up. We went with a new proportion that's bigger, bolder, and even more efficient than today's truck. So what we mean by that is the truck grew in length by about 1.5 inches. The wheelbase we stretched 4 inches, got the wheels closer to the corners. That allowed us to get a bigger cabin for the interior occupants, but also give it a new proportion that's a next generation truck. And the more efficient part came in that, yeah, we made the truck bigger, but we used a lot of aerodynamic elements to help make this more efficient than our previous Silverado. And so you'll see that with one of the things you can see very clearly is this air curtain on the front. And we take this as an inspiration from our 6th generation Camaro. And what it does is allows air to funnel in, fill the wheel well with air so that the air comes cleanly around the side of the vehicle. And it gives it an all-new, unique appearance for this truck that shows us really next generation. We've got elements, as you can see on the back of the truck with a cab spoiler that integrates with the tail lip, the lip on the tailgate that improves aerodynamics even further. The truck's also new in the fact that we've got this really modular integrated front end. This is a high country which we've taken to another level. It's a top-of-the-line Silverado for our customers here. And what we did with this is we took a lot of inspiration from like mixed metals and watches, and you'll see in the grille that there's actually bronze details that mix with chrome to give it a unique, rich, up-level appearance and really set this vehicle apart from the other trims in our Silverado line.
Perhaps, first of all, I do see that now that you mentioned it. It has a little bit of that Camaro-esque kind of design down here, this side flank. I think it looks pretty cool. And what can you tell me about the side profile of the new truck?
So the side profile is a lot more muscular, and what we've done is we've done a lot of side sculpture to really make this dynamic. And so you'll see we've got a fender line that drops as it comes up the headlight and goes below the mirror. The mirror is repositioned so that it provides better visibility, forward visibility for customers as they drive this truck. And that sculpture extends all the way around the rear of the vehicle to a Chevrolet stamped in the tailgate that you'll see in a second. It's just a much more athletic appearance that really, once again, shows this as a next generation truck.
How about we move over to the back of the truck?
If you look at the rear of the truck, the first thing you'll notice is that we do have this cab spoiler at the top that integrates with this lip here on the tailgate, and that's another of those elements we talked about earlier that helps provide more efficiency for this truck that's bigger and bolder. Some of the other things you'll notice is a Chevrolet that's stamped into the tailgate, and that harkens back to some of the trucks we had back in the 50s and 60s, and it's a unique cue that our customers love. You'll notice on the sides of the truck that we've got these very sculptural tail lamps. And something we've done is that we've removed, we don't have to have sensors in the tailgate or in the tail lamps in order to have your blind spot monitoring. We've actually put those sensors down here in the corner steps. So down here we're able to have these sensors that allow you to have the blind spot monitoring for vehicles in other lanes, but without having a giant dead spot in the tail lamp. So what we get is a very sculptural, fully lit tail lamp. You also see that our customers have asked for, and we've provided dual exhaust that's integrated into certain trim levels like this top-of-the-line high country.
That's really fantastic. It does look a lot more modern, and with the deck spoiler and the spoilers in the back, as well as the channels on the side, it is a lot more aerodynamic now as well. And before I let you go, what is your one favorite feature that you guys have designed to this car compared to the older version, which you think really makes this car stand out than before?
I think as designers, our favorite part of this truck is really the front end. The front end has got A lot of cues that are familiar for Silverado as far as they harken back to like the 400 truck back in the 80s. But it's also much more, it's very, very modern. It's a very modern take on Silverado. We're able to take those aerodynamic elements and integrate them to a very new next generation face.
All right, Brian, thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate it.
Over here we have a different trim level. This is the Z71. It's in bright red with a glossy black finish on the front bumpers. In fact, this car has a 2-inch jacked up ride height compared to the High Country that we saw earlier, as well as the blue car, the blue truck back there. Not much information has been released about this truck, unfortunately. As of now, we don't really know the price, we don't know the specifications of the engines. I'm not even allowed to open the hood, but what I can tell you is that there's new modern engines now, and the new engines also have a very advanced active cylinder management system. In fact, they can shut off up to 7 cylinders out of the 8 and run on just 1 cylinder to conserve fuel if it needs to. Additionally, there's going to be a new diesel engine as well. I'm here with Michael. He's the chief designer at Chevy Trucks for the interiors. Thank you so much for being with us, Michael.
Yeah, great to
So he's going to show us what's new about the new Silverado truck. Michael.
Yeah, listen, this is all new. The interior space on this vehicle is much larger than what we have today. So we've got more headroom than anybody else in this segment. Seats sit an inch higher, and I'll tell you in the US that's a big deal, right? People want their trucks, they want to sit up high. We've got more legroom, an extra 2 inches in the front, and as impressive, an extra 2 inches in the back. So when we redesigned the vehicle, the cab grew in the key areas where it's really going to give our customers what they want. Okay. The overall interior is completely new as well. For truck customers, these things are tools. So they really got to be able to utilize these things and make them very easy to interact with. So you can see the volume knobs, HVAC knobs, it's still a touch screen. But when these guys get into these cars, you guys came in today, it's very cold out, they got gloves on. You can do the key things that you need to do with gloves on your hand and easily interact with this vehicle. And when these guys are plowing snow or taking big loads to the dump, I mean, there's a lot of versatility that has to be packed into these vehicles, and so we've made them very, very easy to use. From a truck standpoint, what the customers really look for is something that is very vertical. So if you look at this IP, it's very, very vertical in nature. As soon as they go horizontal, truck customers really see them more as SUVs than pickups. Okay? So you can see the very vertical center stack, and this is what we call our command center. So all the key buttons and controls are in the center of this vehicle. Easy to use, easy to interact with, once again with gloves, without, super, super comfortable and convenient. Storage is also very important. Okay? So you can see we've got storage for your phone here, multiple cup holders, storage inside the console, right? This console flips up so a third passenger can sit in the front, and they can be belted, and there's storage underneath that.
Maybe you can demonstrate that really quickly.
Sure. Yep. Flip this up here, flip this in here. Once again, some nice hidden storage. It's nice to be able to put things away in your vehicle so you don't have to worry about if you're going to leave the vehicle, you don't have to worry about somebody taking them, and also just places to put things away. These guys are carrying tie downs to tie things in the back. You can put those underneath in here, and they're not rattling around on the floor. Also, just in front of you, you can see we have an upper glove box and a lower glove box. Once again, really allowing for a lot of room for storage. Little storage here up in the top of the IP for carrying things as well. And then maybe we'll get in the back and I'll show you a little bit of what's going on in the back of this vehicle as well.
That is fantastic. And another thing I want to reiterate what Michael said, and something that we always discuss on the channel is the buttons versus touchscreen argument. And I've had plenty of arguments on our channel, and people always appreciate when, like you said, you know, as soon as you get inside, what do you really need to do? You want to put on your music, you want to turn on the air conditioning. These things should always be buttons and rotary dials, chunky and knobby and big, so that they're easy to operate with gloves or, you know, without even having to look at them. It should be very intuitive. So I like that this has been incorporated into this, and again, it's modern. There's touchscreen, there's USB, and do you have an inductive phone charging port in this truck?
So we don't in this one, but in this one it's a lower level truck, but in the higher level trucks we do.
So it is an option. Yes, all right, so let's hop into the back.
Yeah.
So now we're going to take a look at the back seat. So Michael, even here you were telling me that there's a lot more hidden storage and there's a lot more space inside. Is that correct?
Yeah, without a doubt. Storage is so important to our customers. Having places to put things away is something that they really need, and we've gone the extra mile on this truck. So let me show you a couple of things. So seats fold up. You got storage underneath the seats. Allows you to put things away, and what that does is stop things from kind of falling all over the floor as you're driving around. In addition to that, a really nice feature here is the hidden storage in the back of the seat. So if you can get in there and take a look at that, you can put a small laptop in there, tie downs, things that maybe you do not want rolling around, or maybe you just don't want people to know that are in there. So when I carry my laptop with me, I do not want it sitting in the back seat, front seat, anywhere it's going to be visible. You hide it away in there, and really, unless you have one of these trucks, you're never even going to know that it's there. So it's really a great feature for the customers. We're utilizing all the extra space in the vehicle, finding these cubby holes to give space back to the customer so that they can store things.
That is fantastic. How about we climb inside? Now, me not being used to pickup trucks, this is quite interesting. I mean, that is quite high up off the ground. And, well, how tall are you, just to get an idea of how much space there is? I mean, this seat, I have it all the way back. It's not even in my driving position. This is as far as it goes, all the way back. That's how I pulled it just back. And still, you have plenty of leg room, and you can slide your feet under the front seat as well, and there's a generous amount of headroom.
Yeah, so I'm 5'10". We've actually added 2 inches of legroom in the back of this vehicle from our current vehicle today. You sit an inch taller, and I've got tons of headroom up here. So there is tons of space on the inside of this vehicle, and we know that our customers, they value the space. Some of the people buy pickups just for space.
All right, that's fantastic. Well, Michael, thank you so much for your time. Very interesting truck. Overall, I think the Silverado is a very impressive truck. Now, I'm not an expert on pickup trucks, not in the slightest. I've never driven one. And the truth is, in Europe, we don't really get pickup trucks. This probably won't be sold there. I asked them and they said there's no plans anytime in the future to bring this truck to Germany or anywhere in Europe. But I see the charm in this. This is very utilitarian, at the same time has a very masculine, rugged design with modern intakes, takes such as the aerodynamics. And again, I really like how this is very similar to the Chevy Camaro, which I think is a really cool car. A lot of utility, it's big, it's useful, has a big payload in the bed, so you can load a lot of items. And at the same time, it's a very lifestyle-oriented truck as well, if you want it to be. Overall, I would really love to take one of these trucks out for a spin. Hopefully we will sometime soon. Chevy, if you're watching, fly me down again and let me test this car and make my own review of it. That would be awesome.